All right. Hello, everyone. So today I am making a very different kind of video because usually I'll make like a challenge video or just like a speedrun video or something like that. But today I think that it'd be fun to like actually make like a tier list sort of video where I'm ranking like certain things. And I've never actually made a video like this before. I just kind of wanted to try it out. So I thought let's start with the game. Let's rank the songs from a game because like why not? Because you know we all have video games, hopefully. And a lot of games have phenomenal soundtracks. Like probably more than 50% of games I played like honestly have a soundtrack that's like very memorable to me because I'm a very musically inclined person, so any type of music, like any form of music, like I'm very inclined to listen to it and pay attention to it. So for a game like Deltarune, which is what I'll be going over today, I'm just very ready to talk about these songs because it's like, you know, I love Deltarune and its music, so I thought it'd be fun to actually rank every single song on a tier list. Like as someone who has played music for a while, like I just think it'd be really fun to like rank these. So I made like my own tier list. So at the very top we have Toby Fox tier. Now these will be the best, like some of the best soundtracks in my opinion. And then as we go down, we'll have T tier, which obviously stands for Tenna. Like that's obviously playing off of the chapter 3 joke. Now we have S plus, S, A plus, A minus for the songs that I didn't really enjoy as much as the others, but they're still not bad. And then B plus and B for the songs that like either I just didn't care about or I just don't think they're memorable or whatever. But it's like I don't think a single song in this game is actually bad. Like even the tracks that aren't really songs, like the ambience tracks, like I don't really think that they're like bad songs. I actually think that every song in this game like is at least okay. And most of the songs in this game are more than okay. So we're gonna start with the very beginning and we're gonna work to the end. And it looks like it's just starting in order of the actual soundtrack. Without further ado, let's begin. So starting off, we have another hymn. Now, another hymn. It's a very interesting soundtrack. It's so basically a lot of people seem to notice like a lot of Gaster vibes in the soundtrack, and that's probably because like Gaster is suspected to be the person who basically sets you up with Deltarune, like puts the soul inside of Chris's body. Like it's like a very popular theory. Overall, I think another hymn is a pretty cool soundtrack. Like it's definitely very mysterious. Like it definitely hooks you into the game. I'll say like not only is the intro of Deltarune like a bit strange, like from what you're expecting, but it definitely hooks you and like it definitely does well at like hooking you into the game, in my opinion. I think it's a pretty solid song. Now, I don't think it's like super memorable, like or amazing. Like it's just fine. So I'm gonna put it in A tier because I like it. It's just not like the absolute best thing in the game since there's already so many good songs. And now we have beginning. So beginning is a pretty cool track. Basically, another opening theme in the game that basically gives you like the main leitmotifs for the first time. Basically sets up the story really well. Like Toriel driving Chris to school, and basically every single character that you're going to meet like in the game, or just like basically just all the characters from Undertale are there watching you, which is it's really nice. Like if you had played Undertale like before playing Deltarune, because then you'll recognize all the characters and be like, oh wow, this is like a sequel to Undertale, and then you actually played the game and you're like, okay, it's not a sequel at all. But basically, Beginning's a very good song. I like it. I think it is really well at like setting up the game, but it's kind of short. Like it has like a lot of good stuff to it, but it's just kind of a short track. And it's okay for songs to not be super elaborate and stuff. So I'll put it below another hymn in A tier, but I still think it's a pretty good song. Next we have School. So School is basically like one thing I remember this track by is that it's actually not representative of how school actually feels like for most people because like it's very upbeat and lively. Now I still like School like as a song. Like I like Deltarune. I like the Deltarune song School. It's a very good song in my opinion. Like I just like the nice swing type beat. Like it's not really like a swing rhythm. I just kind of like how it just swings you into things like really well. Like I think it's just nice like how the game opens with you going to school and meeting all the like your classmates, and then eventually you'll get dragged to the dark world and such. But overall, School's a pretty good song, and it's also like like a full track. I really like School. Like I think it's kind of on the underrated end of the spectrum. So I'll put it in A plus. All right, now we have Susie. So Susie is a very interesting song because this is a song that only appears in chapter 1, I believe. Basically when you first meet Susie, she's like this cold, angry person. And I think that this song is kind of supposed to like represent that and like also represent like the typical like average high school bully like type character that you might see. So I mean, it's a pretty good like establishing track for Susie. Like I like it. It's a bit short and it's pretty much just guitar. Like I don't think there's any instruments besides the guitar. Like I think it's pretty cool, but it's not really like super great. I mean like compared to some other character themes, like I just think are better. But I think it does really well at like establishing the like Susie as a character. And I think it might be memorable for people like playing Deltarune like for the first time. It's just not the kind of thing you remember when there's so many other great songs. So for that, I'll put it in A tier. I'll put it below Beginning, but still a pretty good song. All right, now we have The Door. So the Door is like the first track that kind of introduces that one main light motif, like with the Roaring Night. It's basically that stuff like that motif. It's like da 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 da. Like The Door is I think is the first song that kind of establishes that like the mysterious vibes. Like I think it's a pretty nice song. Like especially like just thinking about how mysterious the door is when the kids first open it. Like it's just like a really cool experience to hear the track for the first time. So I think this one's pretty good. I'll put it above Beginning, but below Another Hymn because I feel like Another Hymn is one that I remembered a little more. Like if I'm thinking of Deltarune, I'm slightly more likely to think about Another Hymn and its like significance than I am The Door. So for that, I'll put it below Another Hymn, but it's still a pretty nice song. Like I still like it and stuff. Now we have Cliff. So this is basically the first song that plays when you enter the Dark World, um, like the very first Dark World in Chapter 1, and it's basically just like a bunch of ambience noises. Like it's kind of like an ambience noises. Like there is a melody, but it's pretty slow, and I don't exactly remember what this melody sounds like. I think it's kind of like similar-ish to The Door, and this is also a song that plays in the checkerboard area. So it's basically like it's basically like representative of both of those areas. And like I think it's just like a good like ambient soundtrack for being mysterious and stuff. Like but just compared to like the other 5 songs that I've gone over so far, it's just like I feel like I really remember Kliss that well. Like it's a good song for like ambience and stuff. Like it's just not really something that I think about all the time when it comes to Deltarune. So like I don't know where to like I don't know I don't want to like hurt anybody's feelings with this one. I might put it in B plus because like I don't really think super highly of the song. I still think it's cool. Like it's a really cool ambience track, but like I just don't think super highly of it. If you put it higher, I would totally get it. I just don't really see myself like putting it any higher than like B plus, like especially since it's pretty short. Like it doesn't really do much, and that's kind of the point of it. Alright, so now we have The Chase. Now The Chase is like a song that I actually really like. Like that's kind of it's a song that was developed like or written around the same time as Black Knife, which is the Roaring Knights theme. Like obviously we haven't actually heard the Roaring Knights theme until just 2025, but the chase is basically uses the same like chase leitmotif and it's basically representative of running from Lancer and also running towards night, like chasing the night. I think it works very well in both contexts, in both contexts, like especially the first time you hear it when you're running away from Lancer. Like I like the chase. Like it's definitely a cool song. I'll put it in A plus above School. Best song on this list so far. I really like the leitmotif in the chase. I really like the significance of it, like in the context of the game. And now we have a banger, The Legend. The Legend is it's a very like niche, comfortable song, but it's also like really good at like establishing the tone of the game. Like it kind of just starts out like a little mysterious, and then it gets more flamboyant over time, and then it's like really flamboyant for a while, and then it kind of dies down. It's like a really good establishing track for the game, and it's basically the opening to the game. Like if you're opening it after you've already beaten it, like I think it works really well in that aspect. Like I just think the legend worked really well as like an establishing track for the game, like establishing kind of the story of the game, like a summarized version of the prophecy or something like that. I really like the legend. I'm gonna put it above the chase. Like I think the legend's a really cool song. Like not gonna lie. And now we have another banger. Chapter one has a lot of bangers. Now we have Lancer. Now Lancer, like as a song, I don't think that it's like the absolute best representation of Lancer as a character because he's kind of goofy. I feel like Lancer, like as a song, more so represents what Lancer is trying to be. Like Lancer is trying to be like I don't know, like like he's trying to be like his dad, and his dad's like some super cool quote unquote bad guy. So Lancer is kind of like it's kind of Lancer's goal to just be exactly like his dad. So the song kind of represents that, and this one's a banger. Like I like the swing rhythm that it kind of has. Like obviously I don't know like how to tell the difference between a swing rhythm and a non-swing rhythm because I'm not the absolute best in music. Like I'm musically inclined, but I'm not the best. So correct me on that if you will. That's fine. But Lancer as a soundtrack, I think it's really solid. Like it's about a minute long, but I think it does really well. Like I find myself like whenever I play Deltarune just randomly, I'll just like pause and listen to this soundtrack sometimes because it's just really good. Like definitely on the underrated end of things. I'm gonna put it in S tier. Like I genuinely think Lancer's theme deserves S tier. I might be glazing. Like there might be a lot of songs that you might consider better. I know I'm glazing. I'm putting Lancer in S tier. I love Lancer's theme. So I think it's just really good. And now we have yet another banger, Rude Buster. Okay, Rude Buster is peak. I'm sorry, it's just peak. Like the battle theme, like it's like the main battle theme that is basically for the first three chapters for Act One. It is so good. Like you're the first time you hear it in Chapter One, it's really unexpected for you to hear it. It's like probably the last thing you're expecting when the battle starts, and it's like the battle starts at kind of like an unexpected time. Like you're not expecting the battle to just start like in the middle of like Lancer and Susie talking. I mean, some people might be, but it's like for me personally, the first time I played this game back in 2018, I did not expect the battle to start then, and it's just like hearing the banger music. It's like, oh my god, like this is great. Like I love Rude Buster. Like I would go as far as putting it in S plus. I think Rude Buster is a phenomenal soundtrack. It works. It never gets old. It sets the tone of the battles in the game really well. Like just for the first three chapters, and it might appear in more chapters than just one, two, and three. Now, I think that from now on is basically the main battle theme from now on, which is actually kind of funny that I'm saying that out loud. But I think Rude Buster is still really solid. It holds up very well in like the first act of the game, just and just in general, like very good battle theme, like top tier battle theme in my opinion. But we got to move on. S plus for Rude Buster. Now we have Empty Town. So Empty Town is kind of like that. Like that's kind of like the song that plays the very first time you're in the town because whenever you enter the town again in chapter 2 it plays My Castle Town since the town is more developed, but when the town's empty it basically plays this, and it's basically it's like a version of the legend. It's kind of like the legend except like in a more, I don't know how to say it, like 8-bit style ish song. Like it's not exactly that kind of song, but that's just the vibes it kind of gives me. Like I really like Empty Town as a song. Like I think it does a really good job at like kind of establishing Ralsei more as a character, like telling you more about how he has like no real friends and real subjects. Like I think it's kind of like Ralsei's motif in a way. Like if like obviously if Susie has her own motif, then Ralsei's motif would probably be Empty Town, if nothing else, or at least his motif would be Empty Town at the start of chapter one. Like I really like this song. I'm gonna put it in A plus, above above the chase, but not above the legend. I like Empty Town. Like I think it's pretty good. Like in context of the town itself and Ralsei as a character. Like when you first meet him, like just I mean like it's not the best thing, but I still like it. Like I still think it's a pretty cool song. Now we have Weird Birds. Now Weird Birds is the first quote unquote song on this soundtrack that isn't really a song, it's more just an ambience. Like it's just a bunch of birds tweeting. So I really don't see how I could put this any higher than like B plus. Like it's a fun little like ambience track, but it just kind of it just kind of establishes like the weirdness of entering the dark world for the first time, and it's fun, but I'm sorry, I really can't see myself putting this song any higher than B plus. I'm sorry, I know this song has fans. I know, well, it's not really a song. I'm gonna stop calling it that. I know this track has fans, but like you can't please everyone. I'm sorry. Like I like it, but it's like it's not really a song, so I'm gonna put it in B plus. Still not the worst tier in this list though. Banger coming up. Field of Hopes and Dreams. Now this is like the first true main area theme of the game. Like once you get like into actual puzzles and battles and stuff like that. Like this is, in my opinion, Field of Hopes and Dreams is like the true like testament to the first area like of the game. Like just out of all the areas in the games, like Field of Hopes and Dreams is just one of my favorites because of the music and atmosphere. Like the first time you enter the Dark World, like I think that this area works really well, and of course the theme works really well. Like it has a lot of sections that just flow together really well. It has like 3 or 4 sections. Like there's like a whole saxophone part at the end. It has like a really good main motif. It uses the don't forget motif, which is very prevalent throughout chapter one. I really like Field of Hopes and Dreams. Like honestly, who wouldn't? Like it's definitely a really just peak song. Like I know I've been doing a lot of glazing so far. Don't worry, there's gonna be a lot more glazing, don't worry. But I really like Field of Hopes and Dreams like as a song. I'm gonna put it in T, not in Toby Fox tier, but I'm gonna put it in T tier because it's just so good. Like I love Field of Hopes and Dreams as a song. Like I know people probably want me to put it a tier higher, but I don't know if I can really do that. I do genuinely love Field of Hopes and Dreams. Like I just really like Field of Hopes and Dreams as a song. So like that's where I'm gonna put it. Now we have Fanfare. Now I've actually never heard the song Rose of Winter, but of course since I've played Deltarune, I've heard the song Fanfare. And Fanfare is basically, obviously it's just like a small excerpt, and it's like I think it's definitely like funny in a way, like when thinking about its context. Like it's about Susie joining the party because it's like, oh my god, she's joining the party after being alone and killing it, well, not killing anyone, but defeating enemies. She's finally back. Like I think it's kind of funny in that aspect, and it's also used for Lancer, and jokingly for like it's used for the candy for like half a second. I think Fanfare is pretty fun. Like it's really short because it's just a fanfare, but it's nice. So I'm putting it at A minus. I really can't see myself putting it higher because it's just kind of this like the song that exists, but it's cute. Like I like it. I'll put it in A minus. Now we have another cool song, Lantern. Lantern, like it, if you actually didn't notice, Lantern it actually uses the same leitmotif as Root Buster, because Root Buster's like da 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 da, and Lancer, or sorry, Lantern is like da 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 da, and it's like if you speed it up, you get da 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 da, which is just Root Buster. Like if you listen to them side by side. So this is definitely an interesting song. Like it's one of the few times the Rude Buster leitmotif gets used in a song that's not Rude Buster, and it's a pretty nice song. Like especially just like establishing the character of Sham. Like I really like Sham as a character. Like I mean, like they're not like the most. Uh, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like I think it does a really good job establishing like how mysterious Sham is, and like hopefully they're relevant in a future chapter, like more, at least more relevant. And it seems like they will be relevant more so in chapter 5, like with the whole thing with the shadow crystal. So like I really like Lantern, and I like how it says of ABS is like the first shop in the game. I'll put it in A plus. I think it deserves. I think it's a good song. I think it deserves A plus. I can't really see myself putting this one any higher, but overall, I think Lantern is a really solid song. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in A plus. Like just really cool song for a shop, in my opinion. And now we have I'm Very Bad. Now I'm Very Bad is basically just like a small like subsection of Lancer's theme. And basically it's just like it just uses like the same like first part of Lancer's theme, just da 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 da. Except it's with like a guitar, so it just kind of like jams out a little bit, like very like it's like a very short track, but it's basically like, oh no, what kind of terrible plan has Lancer come up now? Like it's that kind of thing. That's I think that's kind of the aim. Like that's how it makes you feel. So definitely a cute one. I'll give it A minus, below fanfare, because it's cute, but it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of something that is just like, it's actually kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of like Lancer trying to be like Susie. Like that's kind of what it sounds like, because it's like Susie's theme is a guitar, Lancer's theme, like, and like I'm Very Bad is also kind of in a guitar. So I feel like it's Lancer's attempt to be more like Susie rather than being like his dad. So I think it's definitely cool in that aspect. Now we have Checker Dance. Now, Checker Dance is actually a song that I favor highly. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Checker Dance is meh. Checker Dance is not that good." I like Checker Dance. Like, it doesn't. I don't think it stacks up to like the some of the best boss themes in the game. But I don't dislike Checker Dance. Like, I really like how it starts off like just sounding like a really simple like bum bum ba da dum dum, and then it like slowly evolves into something that's like really fun, like especially for the boss, like how ridiculous this first boss is in the game. And yes, this is technically the first boss. I consider Lancer a mini boss. This is technically the game's first boss, and I just I just think it's fun, and like the theme itself is fun. So I'm gonna put this in. Let's see, should I go A plus? I'm gonna do a hot take with this one. I'm putting it in A plus. I like Checker Dance. We'll go we'll go just below the chase. I like Checker Dance. Very cool song. Very cool song. Just like I think that it needs more recognition. I'm honestly slightly angry that people don't put it higher. They're just like, oh, it's so boring, it's so mid. I disagree. I think the vibes with Checker Dance are really like memorable and nice, especially like for people who have played Chapter One like a really long time ago, like in 2018 or 2019. Like Checker Dance is just one of those songs that like you kind of just that kind of just sticks in your mind because like of how ridiculous the first boss in the game was. And now we have Quiet Autumn. Now, Quiet Autumn's kind of an interesting song because it's like, you know, it's I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like the Deltarune version of Quiet Water. Like the song from Undertale. It's kind of like it kind of uses Undyne's theme a little bit, or just the waterfall theme in general. It goes da 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 da. I kind of like Quiet Water. Quiet Autumn is essentially the Deltarune version of that, and I think it kind of just uses the Scarlet Forest theme, and the Scarlet Forest theme is actually what's coming up next. But it's basically just like a Quiet Water version of the Scarlet Forest theme, and I like it for that. Like I think it works pretty well in that aspect. Like I think that Quiet Autumn is a very cool just little track that you hear. It's like, ooh, it's a nice spot to like just kick back and relax for a bit. So yeah, definitely cool. I'm putting it in A because I'll put it below Beginning, above Susie, because like I like Quiet Autumn, but it's not like the most like absolutely sorry, it's not the most absolutely like phenomenal song in Chapter One, but like I like it. Like I mean that kind of goes for most songs in this tier list. I feel like, but I like Quiet Autumn. Don't worry, it's not like I think it's bad or anything. And now we have Scarlet Forest. Now, Scarlet Forest is another banger. I do not prefer this one to Field of Hopes and Dreams. However, I think that Scarlet Forest is really cool. Like, I like how it uses the same Don't Forget motif. I like how it sneaks in Gaster's motif, just hinting at Gaster secretly being important later on. Scarlet Forest, like, does a really good job at, like, establishing just, like, another, like, really good area theme. Just, like, we went through a field and then we went through a forest. So it's, like, a typical RPG-ish setting for a game, but I think it works pretty well, like in context of like just how mysterious this forest is, and this like the whole chapter one. Like if you're playing Deltarune for the first time, you're probably gonna be like, well, what the heck am I doing here? Like just what the heck is this? Like because like you don't have any context of what anything actually is yet, so it's just such like an immersing experience to play chapter one for the first time and to hear songs like this. So Scarlet Forest, pretty good song. Like definitely, I don't like it as much as Field of Hundreds, but I think it's a really solid song. We'll go we'll go S tier for this one because I don't really like it enough to like put it in S plus with Rude Buster, but I definitely think that it's a cool song. I'll put it above Lancer, but like I don't think it's better than Rude Buster. I still like Scarlet Force as a song. Like I think it's just nice. And now we have Thrash Machine. So Thrash Machine is kind of like this is kind of like another version of Lancer's theme, except this time it's in a major. It's in like a major key and uses like piano as an instrument, which is kind of nice because as you know, I play the piano, so it's just like anything that has piano, just in any game, like I'm automatically just drawn to it. And I really like Thrash Machine like in that way. Like it's just a fun little like track. It's like, oh yeah, Lancer is totally not evil here. Or more like, oh yeah, this kid's totally not Lancer. He's totally not bad. Like it's funny because obviously it's Lancer, but like this song is kind of like playing into Lancer, like telling you, oh, he's just a sweet little boy or whatever. So I think it's funny in that aspect. So yeah, it's a fun song. Like I think it for what it is, it works pretty well. I'll put it in A. We'll go above. We'll go above the door because like I don't know if I like it more than another hymn, but I think it's pretty solid. Like just just like in the context, which is kind of yeah, that's kind of been like a recurring thing for most of the songs so far. Now we have versus Lancer. So versus Lancer is a pretty interesting song. Now I might have like a sort of an unpopular opinion with Versus Lancer, but it's not like my favorite song. I actually prefer Lancer's regular theme to Versus Lancer, and like I know that's kind of a surprise. I just prefer like the more swing type rhythm that the original Lancer theme gives, rather than like the non-swing version that gives you Versus Lancer. Like Versus Lancer is essentially just like Lancer's theme, but turned into a battle theme, and I like it for that. It's just like I just don't like. I don't think it's as memorable as the original Lancer, so it's like I can't really put it higher than A plus. We'll go above Checker Dance because I think it might beat Checker Dance, or does it beat Checker Dance? I don't know. I'll put it just below Checker Dance because I don't know. I think I might like Checker Dance a little more, but Versus Lancer, like it's fun. It just doesn't really like beat out that like all that many songs in my opinion. But I still think it's like a pretty good song. I just I don't know. I just think that the original version of Lancer's theme is just a little more memorable. Now we have Basement. So Basement is basically the first song that you hear that like establishes the card castle motif. And I think it's definitely like a very interesting song. Like it's kind of like mysterious, like ooh, scary basement in the castle. It's just like and it gives you like the main card castle motif. Like for what it is, it definitely works like to tell you like that you're in the basement, you're in prison. Like I think it works in that aspect. I'm gonna give it A tier because I like it. Like I'll put it above Susie but below Quiet Autumn. I like Basement. It's just like I don't know. I just think that there are songs that just struck me a little better, but I still like Basement. Like it's still an interesting thing. Now we have Imminent Death. I would place Imminent Death more on the underrated side of things, like as far as Deltarune soundtracks go, because it's like, oh my gosh, Susie's been betrayed by her one friend in a while, and it's like Susie. I feel like Susie is a character that's been established with like trust issues, because like with a lot of characters that she's been with, it's just like she doesn't seem like the person that would like immediately be trusting of everyone, and that's reasonable. Like we don't really know Susie's exact home situation yet. We can speculate, but we don't exactly know what her home life is like yet. But Imminent Death is kind of like feeding into her like her character as being like someone who gets betrayed, and she's like showing her anger because of that, and I like it. It works very well. It's like, oh no, what is she about to do to him? Like I think Imminent Death is kind of underrated. I'm gonna put it in what the heck, what did I just do? Huh. What did I just do to it? Huh. That was weird. Alright, forget about that. Uh Imminent Death though, like honestly, I don't know, I think I just deleted it. Okay, wait, it's actually here. I'm an idiot. Okay, forget that. I'm stupid. Forget that. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I blanked. But anyway, Imminent Death pretty definitely an interesting song. I'm gonna put it in A tier because I think it's like on the more underrated side of things. Like just as a track in general, I'll put it above Susie and above Basement because I think it's like it does like a really good job just like establishing Susie more as a character. And at this point, we've known like a little more about Susie, but it's just like this definitely feeds into like the more mysterious side of Susie that we still haven't like fully figured out by the time by the end of chapter 4. Like we still haven't really figured that out yet. But overall, I think Imminent Death works, like, especially since it brings in like Flowey's like your best nightmare motif. So it's like Susie trying to be the nightmare, which I really like. And now we have another banger alert as Versus Susie is arriving on the scene. Now I love Versus Susie. I think Versus Susie is great. Like I I think that I mean this is technically a boss theme, even though like the fight against Lancer, like Susie versus Lancer, is more just like a glorified cutscene. Like it's like I think the theme would still work as like a boss theme, especially if it gets used like for Susie in like a future chapter. Like if there's ever like another versus Susie fight, like in any case, like if it's somehow Chris versus Susie, I don't know how that would work. I don't exactly know how Chris versus Susie would work out, but I definitely think that that's like an interesting idea though. Like a bringing versus Susie back and not just having it for chapter 1 where she's going against Lancer. It's more like Lancer's just like a prototype for like a later fight, almost like what will a future Susie fight look like? And I think that versus Susie does really well, like in context of like her being betrayed in chapter 1, and also it might just I think it just works as like a good boss theme for Susie because it's like imagine every character in Deltarune having their own boss theme. Obviously, we don't hear too many of them, but versus Susie is like really good, like definitely really good for Susie. It's like definitely does even better to establish her as the character. Just very very solid song with all the instruments used and the sections, and it's just like very 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 memorable song that I just love jamming out to sometimes. Like, let's see, let's definitely put it high. I'm gonna go S plus. I genuinely think that versus Susie is just like really really good, perhaps underrated. Like not like super underrated. Like I think people like this song, but like maybe not above Rude Buster. I prefer Rude Buster a little bit, but versus Susie is like really 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 solid in my opinion. Like I just think it's a pretty cool song. And now we have Card Castle. So Card Castle is, I mean, out of the final area themes, there's 4 of them. I think that Card Castle is the worst one. Like that doesn't mean I'm calling it a bad song. It's definitely not a bad song. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't think that any songs in Deltarune are actually bad. But Card Castle, like compared to the other themes, is just kind of shallow. Like it basically just uses it establishes the card castle motif even more and basically delves into the idea of like card castle being like a mysterious place, like you're in the final stretch of chapter 1 and you're just trying to get to the top of the castle. Now first of all, the card castle is a very short final area. You can get through it in like 3 minutes without much hassle. Like it's definitely a bit shallow of an area in my opinion. Like it's just chapter 1, so it doesn't really have to be like that flamboyant, but like compared to like the rest of like the chapters, like it's like a pretty mediocre-ish final area. Like I don't mean to like insult people for liking it or anything. I just think that it's like that like compared to some of the other final areas, like it's not like the absolute best. And the theme is kind of the same way. Like it has a good motif. It uses the Lancer motif. It's mysterious. It's just like I just think that there's a lot of themes that are better. So I'll put it in A tier. We'll go above Quiet Autumn. I mean like Card Castle's not bad. Definitely not bad, but it's just like it's just like not the absolute best thing. Like it's not really what I think of when I think about Deltarune songs, and it's like I don't really listen to Card Castle that much, but it's still an interesting song. Now I have Rules Card, and Rules Card is basically a song that like does really well to establish the motif of Rules Card, and basically like you have that motif da 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 da, and like this ties into his battle theme in chapter 2, but in chapter 1 is basically just like a really short version that appears like when he gives you like his stupid puzzles, like that it's like really really easy, and he's like, how dare you solve my puzzle, or it's more like, how could you solve my puzzle? How? It's so difficult. How could you solve my puzzle? Like Rules Card is he's definitely one of my favorite Deltarune characters. Like he's really funny. It's just like in this theme, is like really good at like talk at like explaining that it's like he's like, oh my goodness, he's gonna be so powerful, and then like in every single chapter one encounter, he does almost nothing. I mean, obviously he summons K Round for the rematch against K Round, but other than that, it's like he doesn't really do much to like actually genuinely go against you. So it's just like I just think he's fun. It's like his theme is pretty like cool around that, and this is also like a recurring chapter theme. Like you might not think about that when you think about rules cards. It's like, oh, that's just the one that appears in chapter one. But like this is definitely a recurring theme. I kind of like it. Like I'll give it A tier. We'll go behind Susie. I feel like I like Susie a little more because it's just like I just don't really think about rules cards theme that much, but it's like it's definitely it definitely works though. Like it's just kind of funny. Like it might not be like as powerful as something like I feel like Susie gets the upper hand on this one because it's like a little more powerful in my opinion. Like especially around Susie, but like with rules cards, just he's just more goofy. Like he's just a goofy guy. And now we have April 2012. So if you don't know why it's named April 2012, that's basically when Toby originally got the idea for Deltarune, and that's when he started like planning the game a little more. But basically, it's a representation of that, and it's kind of just like a random like more ambience type soundtrack. That's just like it kind of just sounds like an arcade. Like I feel like April April 2012 is definitely a song that like gives me more arcade vibes. Just like if maybe if you're in like a smaller arcade, and I think it works in that context. Like I don't know how well it works in the context of the name because I don't really know everything about how Deltarune was like originally conceived as an idea. But overall, like April 2012, like fun little track. It doesn't really have like a leitmotif or anything. Like I'll give it A. Like I think it's just a fun little track. We'll go above. Let's not go above anything because I feel like I prefer some of the other teams, but like April 2012, it's not bad. Like I just think it works kind of well. Like as like a fun little track. Oh, like ooh, you just discovered this random room in the castle that doesn't really have any significance like the other ones. Like none of the actual like suit rooms in the castle do anything except maybe give you a Choco Diamond. But it's like I don't know. April 2012 is just kind of there, but it's a fun track. Now we have Hip Shop. And I actually, believe it or not, I actually prefer Hip Shop to Green Room, which is a Deltarune Chapter 3 track. I like Hip Shop more than Green Room. Like that's just my opinion. Like it's a like I think the Green Room's a pretty good song, but like Hip Shop, it has the original motif for that, and it's just like it works really well. Not only when you encounter a rules card the first time and he's like selling like random stuff to you, but just like in general, like for the other shop that you see it in the game. And it's like it's too bad that chapters 3 and 4 don't have like any new like shops that you really go into, at least not ones where it like shows like a more detailed sprite of the character. Like it's sad that they didn't have those in chapter 3 and 4, but in chapters 1 and 2 they do have one. And rules card is one of those guys, and it's just funny seeing him in the first time and like hearing hip shop because like I guess you could definitely consider the shop a hip shop. So it definitely works in that way. It's like I really like the motif, like da 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 da. Like it definitely works. I'll give it. I don't know. Does it deserve A plus? Yeah, we'll give it A plus. We'll go bottom of A plus. I think I like Hip Shop. Like I definitely think like it's a cute little song like for what it is. Now we have Gallery. Gallery is a pretty interesting one. It's kind of like the penultimate or not penultimate, but it's like it kind of like for always like builds up to the final boss of each chapter. Like it plays before the Chaos King when you think that Lancer is going to get hurt or possibly murdered. But it's like it also plays when Queen has captured Birdly and it's like, oh no, she's got a hold of him. And it also plays before the Titan like slowed down, so you know that you're about to do some crazy stuff. Like you know you're in for a crazy boss fight whenever this plays, and it's like I think it's like a really cool song. Like I think it's more Gallery is more on the underrated side of the soundtrack. Like it definitely works really well. Like da 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 da. It's like oh no, what's gonna happen now? It's like I'm genuinely interested in what's gonna happen now. So we'll go A. We'll go above Imminent Death. Now that might be as far as I can go with it. I like Gallery. It's a cool song. Like just overall like it's simple. Like it's not like a complex song or anything, but it's excuse me, it's just a cool song. Like especially like in context of what it does. Now we have Chaos King. Now this is one of the most underrated songs in the game, in my personal opinion. I love Chaos King as a song. Now people might be like, why do you like Chaos King? There's so many better boss themes. Well, I agree with that. But I also think that Chaos King is like really good. Like it's good with motifs, it's good with the Lancer's theme. And my take about Chaos King is that the king is actually the original holder of the Lancer light motif, and I think it would make more sense, like, because Lancer's trying to be more like his dad, he's taking the motif from Chaos King. So Lancer's da 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 da, like that motif. I think that actually comes from his dad. Like, I think it works really well in that context, like especially how Lancer's name plays like during the king fight. It's like it might just be like more like the spade or the chapter one boss like motif, like call it whatever you want, but I think it works really well, like in that case for king. Like, it uses the card castle motif to show that like he really is the king of cards in this case. Like, even though he basically usurped the throne, he is the king of cards, and he's here to destroy you by the knight's will. So it's like it definitely works in that way. And just overall, Chaos King, like it's definitely really really underrated, like especially when it gets past like the main parts, like the Lancers theme and the card custom, and it gets to the legend part, which is like really good. It like shows, it like kind of like delves more into King's like unity with the knight, King's loyalty to the knight, and it's like he'll do anything he can to deter you, like followed by like the minor key part where he's just like he's not gonna give up, he's not gonna stop until you're out of the way. Like, Chaos King, great track. I don't care if it's glazing. I really like Chaos King. We're gonna put it in S tier. We'll go above Scarlet Forest. Chaos King, great song. Not better than the other three that I put above it, but great song. I really like Chaos King. Like, I just think it deserves more credit than a lot of people give it. So I'll put it there. Now, Darkness Falls. Darkness Falls is essentially the death theme. Like, whenever your soul shatters and you click no, like you don't want to continue the game after you die. Like, if you, obviously if you click yes, you'll just go back, because chapter one is the only chapter that doesn't have the main game over theme, because Faint Courage starts with chapter two. But Darkness Falls is essentially if you click no, and I think this goes for any of the chapters. It's basically like, oh no, you gave out another worlds in darkness, and it actually works because everything's dark. It kind of reminds me of like I know this is kind of like a random reference, but like Super Paper Mario, because like there are a couple of points in that game where it's kind of like you can just choose not to save the world, and then everything just goes to ruin. So it kind of reminds me of that. It's like, oh, just because you said you weren't gonna do it, you automatically lose, like before anything actually happens. Like, I kind of like it. Excuse me. I kind of like it in that aspect. Like, I think Darkness Falls definitely just kind of, it just kind of works. Like, I do prefer Faint Courage, but Darkness Falls, like, it definitely does really well in my opinion, with just like saying like, oh no, you messed up, you really should like just keep playing the game. Like, I don't know why you would not want to play the game. Like that's just kind of how it makes me feel. There's like it's not something that Deltarune needed to have, like saying you can quit, but you know, it's fun for what it is. I'll give it. We'll go A. We'll go above another hymn. We'll go very top of A tier. Darkness Falls is a cool song. I just think that a lot of songs just kind of beat it, but Darkness Falls, definitely cool. Now we have the circus. The circus is essentially like establishing like Jevil as a character, because it's like, oh no, who is this mysterious prisoner locked away in the castle basement? And it's basically just just revolving around Jevil. No pun intended. I did not intend a pun with that, but basically that's essentially what it is. It just revolves around Jevil as a character. He's like, ooh, he's mysterious, he's crazy, he's gonna lead you on like a side quest and fight him. It's definitely like, oh, what's about to go down? What's about to happen down here? It's like that kind of thing. It's also good at foreshadowing the boss, like the upcoming boss. So the circus, pretty cool. I'll give it bottom of A plus, because I think the circus is kind of a memorable song. Like, that might sound crazy to some other Deltarune fans, but like I feel like the circus kind of has something that's like, it just has those vibes of being like kooky. Like I don't know. Like I'm that might have been like a really bad adjective to use, but I just think the circus is kind of just cool like establishing motif, I guess, or not really a motif, but just like just revolving around the character of Jevil, who's a bit underrated in my opinion. Like he doesn't get used as much as he could. Maybe he'll get used more in a future chapter. Who knows? And now, speaking of Jevil, we have his main battle theme, "The World Revolving." "The World Revolving" is a great song. Like I really like how I really like its usage of the freedom leitmotif. Um, like I really like how it kind of like delves more into the circus aspect of Jevil, because like he's a jester for the king, like in the card kingdom. Like I like the world revolving as a boss theme. I might actually prefer it to Chaos King a little bit. I really I think it's like a really cool song, just like from a freedom standpoint, like from a freedom standpoint. But yeah, like looking at all the freedom light motifs like in the song, like I like Jevil's usage of it. It might be my favorite usage of the light motif, just because this is the original song, because this used to be Jevil's motif before it became the freedom motif with Spam to Neo in chapter 2. But this is like I definitely like the structure of the song. Like it definitely works like for Devil believing that he's free, but he's actually very much not free. He's in prison and he's just insane. But yeah, it definitely works, like especially with the difficulty of the fight. Like you're definitely going this is definitely a song that you're going to remember, because you're probably going to die to Devil a lot, so you're gonna hear the song a lot. So I think it works like getting burnt into your brain in that aspect. Now, I think this is better than Chaos King. Is it better than versus Susie? Yeah, sure. Is it better than Rude Buster? In my opinion, sadly, no. I don't think that the World Revolving is like a T tier song. But overall, I think it's like a really cool song. Like better than versus Susie. I do prefer Rude Buster, because like the World Revolving like doesn't like it's great, but it kind of loses like a little bit at the end, in my opinion, when it repeats, and it's just like it loses a little bit at the end, but like overall, I think it just kind of works as a song. Like especially if you prefer songs that like kind of end with like the same motif, but it just like keeps repeating and adding more stuff. Like I mean, that's not really the world revolving exactly compared to other songs, but I mean, I guess you can kind of say that it does that. And for that, I should definitely give it some credit. So I'm giving it S plus. I just don't really think that it deserves to go any higher than that. Excuse me. Luckily, we're almost done with chapter 1. Okay, friendship. Now, I love friendship. Like, I love the actual thing, like friendship. I also love the song from Deltarune called Friendship, because it's like, I think that it does really well at just like making you feel, oh, the adventure is over. Like the first of our adventures is over. Like, and the friendship is not something like it's not like a recurring thing with the chapters, which I mean, it's not really like a bad thing. It's just like friendship is just something that is like a song that only appears at the end of chapter 1 if you did the pacifist, or if you defeated anybody through violence and did not apologize. This will not happen, but it's basically just like me like going back through and seeing all the people that you met throughout the chapter. So I think that it's a pretty cool song. Like I really like how it uses like the don't forget motif. Like this is probably my favorite representation of the don't forget, like more, at least one of my favorite representations of the don't forget motif in Deltarune. Like I think that friendship works really well, just like as a song, just in general. Just it has like a more 8-bit feel to it, but it definitely feels like something that might come back at the end of chapter 7. I think I would cry if that happened, because I love like this song. So I think it'd be cool if it like came back in a similar context in chapter 7, but instead of just seeing all the people you met in chapter 1, you're seeing everyone. You're seeing everyone you've met throughout the entire game. That would be phenomenal, in my opinion. That would be a phenomenal Deltarune experience for that. And I think that Friendship has like a really strong chance of just being like one of those songs that like everyone just like remembers as being really good. So like I love Friendship of the song. I don't now I'm debating between S and S plus. Let's go S plus. It might be sort of a hot take. I just think that Friendship is like a really solid song. We'll go bottom of S plus, but I just think that this is like a really solid song. Now let's move on to the holy. So the holy is basically the more so the leitmotif for the fountain. And I think this is in every chapter. Maybe not in chapter 4. This might not be in chapter 4. or maybe it is, I forget, but it's at least in um chapters 1 and 2. I don't know exactly 53 and 4, but basically it's just the fountain light motif, and it's like it kind of conveys the meaning to me that it's definitely like revolving around holiness. Like it definitely strikes me as just being this thing that's like it's like mystical. The fountain's so mystical. It's powerful. It's mysterious. Like you don't like especially like the first time you hear it at the end of chapter 1, you're not really like going to know what it's about. Even in like future chapters, like I just think it's very very solid. It just like giving those feelings like, whew, it's time after everything we've done. It's time to seal the fountain. So it's definitely good in that aspect. I'll give it. We'll go A plus. I like the Holy. Like I just think that it's a cool song. Maybe not better than the Circus. I'll leave it below the Circus, but I like the Holy. Now, next up we have Your Power. Now this is just basically a guitar, like a little guitar riff of Don't Forget. However, in the context that it's actually used in, I think that Your Power is actually a pretty just powerful like riff, especially since it's just like it's like, oh, you're sealing the fountain, so this is the end of your adventure in the dark world. It's just like it's so powerful. Like I'm sorry, like even though the song itself is pretty short, like it's just so powerful in the context of the game. And for that, I'm giving it A. We'll go we'll go above rules card. Your power just incredibly solid, just like little riff. Like I just really like this like little just thing, like this little track. Like randomly I'll just like listen to it. It'll just give me like a little hint of motivation, which sometimes you need that, if you know what I mean. Next up, we have A Town Called Hometown. I like a town. I like A Town Called Hometown. I do prefer Hometown Day, but A Town Called Hometown is just kind of that thing that you just remember like from chapters 1 and 2, and it just works like as you're exploring the town, either by yourself in chapter 1, just Chris, or you're exploring the town with both Chris and Susie in chapter 2. And in either scenario, I just think that this song works. Like it definitely works as like a town theme in general, like not only for Deltarune but just in the realm of any RPG. I think that this song, like it just gives you a lot of like feel good vibes, like especially since this might like spark a lot of nostalgia for people. It doesn't really spark a lot of nostalgia for me, but I think that A Town Called Hometown just like it's definitely one of those songs that you might remember, like especially like if you're thinking about the light world. Like obviously Deltarune kind of it has this whole theme of escapism, so it's basically trying to make the dark world seem better than the light world at most points, if not all points. But basically the light world does have some cool stuff to it, and one of those things is A Town Called Hometown. And I mean that in two ways, because there's like a track and the actual town itself. But very very solid song, solid motif. I'm going S with this one. Maybe not better than Lancer. I'll leave it below Lancer, but a town called Hometown, definitely really cool. I just think it's a cool song. And now you can always come home. Now this is basically just like more so the Deltarune version of home from Undertale, but I prefer You Can Always Come Home because it's basically just like a slightly better version of home. In my opinion, like home might be more nostalgic and simple. Excuse me. Might be more nostalgic and simple for some people, and some people prefer that. But I actually prefer You Can Always Come Home because it's essentially just like it's like after a long day you're home and you can relax and stuff and that's it. Not only does it give me the vibes like in the world of Deltarune, but just like I feel like in just real life as well, like You Can Always Come Home, just like that's the kind of song I would imagine when I'm at home. Like I feel like a lot of people could possibly relate to that, hopefully. Even if not, like I feel like a lot of people can agree that this is a pretty cool song. You might prefer home, and that's okay. I just like You Can Always Come Home. We'll go A plus. We'll go above versus Lancer. I think that it's a pretty solid song. Next up, we have Don't Forget. Now, Don't Forget is essentially a lyrical version of the song, and I am not gonna pronounce the name of the singer because I don't want to butcher her name. But she's a phenomenal singer. I really like her singing, and Don't Forget. I like the lyrical choice whoever made that up. Like I really like the lyrical choice. And don't forget, I like the motif here. Like I just like how it's like slowed down. And it's like something something that you're not really expecting to hear, especially not in the first chapter of the game, like something lyrical. So it definitely works really well in that aspect. And it's like, oh yeah, this is maybe Deltarune's a cool game. Like even if you didn't really think that Deltarune was like the absolute best game, like when playing it, it's like you know what, maybe I'll keep playing the chapter 2 just because like it definitely seems like this is building up to something. So don't forget, it's kind of that song that's just like, don't forget, there's still more. Don't forget, there's more coming. Or don't forget, I'm with you in the dark. And you can interpret that in any way you want because like we still don't really know where. Don't forget, like we don't know where the song is really trying to go in the story, but don't forget, very solid main because it's essentially the main leitmotif for Deltarune. And I think that it's represented very well, not only in like the slow down piano version of the theme, but also like with the singer. She's very good. I really like the song, and just because I'm not putting it in Toby Fox tier doesn't mean I'm insulting the singer. I just love her work here, like on this song. And I don't really like know how many other things she sung in, but like her voice in this song's definitely good, definitely really good. I really like Don't Forget as a song, and just like its representation here is definitely good. Let's give it A+. I just think this one definitely works. We'll go above Lantern. I definitely like really good representation of Don't Forget here at the very end of chapter 1. And last but not least, in my chapter 1 ranking, we have Before the Story. Now, Before the Story, essentially, I believe this is a song that PS4 Undertale players got to hear before Deltarune Chapter 1 even released in 2017. Like, Deltarune Chapter 1 released in 2018, but the PS4 version of Undertale released in 2017, if I remember correctly. And Before the Story was the song that PS4 players could hear, and it's essentially just like Undertale's main theme, which is why like this carries over for Undertale because it's just like the main theme. But it also works really well in a context of Deltarune because like if you remember that Undertale and Deltarune are still kind of sort of connected, like even if they're different, like essentially different games by the same person with similar characters, they are definitely still decently connected. So Before the Story just works like really well in that aspect. Like it's a really cool like song, like it's a feel good song. It can calm you down, and it's just really solid. And also the main like picture like in the file menu, I think we know where that comes from now. Anyone who has played chapter 4 knows probably that we have finally seen where that picture idea originates from. And I think it just makes it even better, like in my opinion. Like I just think that Before the Story is like really solid. We'll go A+ because we'll go above the legend. We'll go the very top of A+, almost S tier for Before the Story. Definitely like a really solid soundtrack in my opinion. And with that, I'm gonna stop the video here because we're just doing one chapter at a time with these videos. But chapter 1, 0 songs in B tier. I think that the worst quote unquote track or just quote unquote song in this tier is Weird Birds, and it's just like it's just kind of something that exists, like I said earlier. And then it's just like a lot of songs in A, a lot of songs in A+, and some songs in S+, and one song in T, 0 songs in Toby Fox, and this tier list will be cumulative. So I will not be like the next time I continue my ranking with chapter 2, I will just build off of this. So we will see how many songs are in like each category. I don't think any songs from chapter 1 deserve the Toby Fox tier, but there is one song that gets T tier. I just feel like I prefer a lot of songs from the remaining chapters more, but chapter 1 still has like a really solid OST overall. Like I just definitely think that a lot of songs from chapter 1 hit hard. I do believe that the chapters like or the songs from chapters 2, 3, and 4, a lot of them hit somewhat harder than chapter 1, but chapter 1 does like a really good job at establishing the motifs and stuff like that. So I don't think it's the worst chapter as far as songs go overall, but I still think that it has like really solid songs. So overall, that's what my tier list looks like, and that's kind of it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like my ranking, like and subscribe, because that's kind of the cringe thing that every YouTuber puts in their video. But yeah, like and subscribe if you like my ranking. If you don't like my ranking, feel free to leave a comment and basically just tell me what you didn't like, and we can like, if you want, we can just have a discussion about why you disliked it and like what you prefer. And I'm totally open to that because obviously tier lists are totally subjective. So it's like you might disagree. You might disagree with a couple things. You might disagree with half of it. You might disagree with all of it. And it's just like you can just like or leave a comment just so we can like talk about this a little more. And it's just like because it's just fun to have like discussions about that, like about things like this with other Deltarune fans, just like which songs people prefer. So yeah. But I'll see you guys in the chapter 2 video.